So, I was at a funeral for a young child today.
Oh, God.
You know my mom knew
Awake.
what to do.
Yeah,
Awake.
awake. It was awake. It wasn't a funeral. The funeral's tomorrow. Anyways, I won't go into the details of who it was or what happened, but I'm going to tell you that it is a completely different story than when another person dies. Because if your 80-year-old grandfather dies, sure, you're sad, your entire family's there, people come. But I have never personally been to a funeral with more people there.
Okay.
There was, I was there from 2:30 to 8, okay? And it goes from 2 to 5 and then 7 to 9. And from 2 to 5, there was like a fifth of the amount of people that showed up from 7 to 8. There was people lined up we were at the end, and there were people lined up all the way to the entrance and then filling the entire entrance hall. And because, usually funerals are a sort of, it's not supposed to be a sad thing. You're supposed to celebrate the time you spent with that person. But when the person is a young child that barely grew up, it's just, you can't spin that in a good way. And someone very close to the family was just at work yesterday, because he can control work. You can't control what's happening right now, and to avoid thinking about it, he went to work all day, because if he didn't, he would have just been fucked.
Wow.
And on that note, let's start it off.
Alright.
Like any other entertainment, this is a distraction, so let's distract at least myself.
Alright.
I'm Adam like usual. We got Andy, Brandon, Kyle, Sean, and Matt's full house.
Cheers.
Full fucking
like a
house.
TV show.
No Oak House.
Taking place in San
Oak
Francisco.
House.
Oak House.
Well, he said full house, so cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Seinfeld?
Yes. Seinfeld?
Friends?
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
It's all about the soup, Nazi. No soup for
Yeah.
you.
Alright. I'll start off. I picked up Infamous, and I already beat it. I beat it the second day I had it.
Shit. I get it because it's second son.
Yes,
You had
exactly.
to.
But see, the thing is, I played it for about 10 to 12 hours. I did about 60 to 70% of everything. Okay, so getting all the boroughs clear of stuff, doing all the graffitis, doing all the searches and stuff like that. So I did 70% of the thing, so I only had 30% left, plus the story and stuff like that. So I did quite a bit, but you could probably beat it within 6 to 8 hours, probably. It was a very fun game. I mean, nothing wrong with that. The graphics were crazy good, absolutely insane. The effects were really good too. But I'm not sure if I would say anything was really that bad about the game. There were some very annoying parts with certain enemies. Eventually it just escalates where it's fucking hard. There's a crazy amount of enemies sometimes. They did a good balance between the powers. But see, the thing is, you use certain powers for fighting, and you use certain powers for, transporting yourself across the map, because fire is really good for fighting. I really like the utility it has, because you can charge the fire blast and destroy rock in front of you and stuff like that. But when you're using neon, you only have missiles or whatever, which you do have in fire, but it's instead of having the utility of charging your fire attack, you have to use a finite amount of missiles that you have on the neon one.
Right.
Now the thing is, the neon one, you can run forever up walls and run fast all the time if you upgrade it. But the fire has a very limited verticality to it. It's shit. I don't know why, if you press circle, you kind of do this dash with smoke, but you can't dash vertically. I don't know why you can't just, even if it doesn't go far, it'd be fun if you can dash in any direction. But instead, exactly. But instead you have to dash forward.
So this is a complaint?
This is a complaint.
The powers are too situational?
It's not that the powers are too situational, it's just that they made it so that you have to switch constantly, which is good in a way, but at the same time it's a little annoying if you one over the other. I was reading stuff online where it's learn to change frequently because certain things are better in certain situations, instead of just liking one thing like a lot of people do in video games and sticking to that, because there's a lot of versatility using multiple ones, but at the same time you don't always want to switch, and there's not always ample opportunity to switch.
So I assume switching is more than just
it's
a quick press on the D-pad.
It is it's a quick press, yeah, but you have to you have to get the source. You can't just stand in the middle of the street and be like, Neon, come to me.
Okay,
You need
so
a
it's
neon
not-
light.
oh,
the power of neon.
I didn't know
It
that.
isn't like one energy. You have to like.
No,
take,
like, okay, so for the smoke or the fire, you have to go to, like, if you go to the top of buildings, there's smokestacks that you can grab from. Or if you blow up a car, you can grab it from the fire.
Oh, I see.
For the
And
neon-
One second, 1 second.
Can you only have one of these at a time?
Yeah, you can only have one at a time. The building up of them is really good because I remember in the old ones you collect shards, but I can't remember the utility of the shards other than collectibles.
It builds up your maximum like MP.
Yeah.
Okay, see, in this, every single time you pick up a shard, it gives you a point to upgrade something, which is cool.
So it's similar.
Yes,
Similar, but
but it's a
there's
lot
no
quicker.
duration. There's no duration to the use of your
Yeah,
power.
but instead of having 300 shards, there's maybe 80 or 90, which lets you upgrade everything max, which is good.
So
Okay, so just to sort of, because you sort of you're nitpicking. So is the game exceptional?
Oh no,
Is
it's
the game-
exceptional. That was my only complaint, is that the fire isn't vertical enough.
And have you played the earlier Infamous games?
Sorry?
Have you played the
I
earlier?
played the first one quite a bit. I didn't play the second one.
Oh.
But I heard the second one was really good. I enjoyed the first one, and the second son is very, very, very fun.
Is this on topic of the mechanics? Because I wanted to build this into some sort of a. Anyways, what did you have to say, Brandon?
so basically,
It's
There
a
it
joke.
basically, depending on the situation, you use, no, the situation,
Yeah.
you use your powers. So
Yeah.
it's a situational comic book game. So it's a sitcom, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice way to work that in.
I heard a couple things. Okay, one thing that put me off the game from the beginning, like I was kind of
Put
skeptical.
you off. It's
Well,
like
I
a
played-
must-have for any
No,
PS4
I
owner.
played the first one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The second one, I didn't really play so much.
I love the second
But
one.
I should play it.
You
Like,
should.
I heard
I'm
the
not-
second one was really good. I
I'm
never
not
played it.
against it, but like, I was very skeptical about the protagonist in this one.
Oh, he's really cool. He's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He looks
because-
like he's gonna have
Yeah.
he's gonna pull the emo thing. And
No,
like,
no,
be
he's not
complete
emo at all.
douchebag.
He's very, like, punker, like, aloof.
That's cool.
okay.
And he's funny. The writing's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually a really good character, and it fits. And plus, there's other conduits all over the place now. It builds up really nicely, because I was wondering how they would work in the fact that there's more than one person now, and it works really well.
I find that it's kind of like a hybrid of Prototype and Infamous. So you got like the good story of Infamous, and you got all these random powers. Well, not random. You got 4 powers. That
You get
choose
more
from.
than
Yeah,
before.
than the one.
Yeah.
So in Prototype, you had all those crazy powers.
Yeah,
I thought it was Prototype when I saw the trailer.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, this must be a new Prototype game.
That's impossible.
Nope.
They didn't have an Asian in it. First one was a white guy, second one's a black guy. They're making an Asian and a brown guy.
That's how.
Harold and Kumar, you know.
It's good.
Was Prototype good? Sorry,
I like them.
Was Prototype 1 or 2 good?
I haven't played. I played a
I
bit
loved
of one
one.
because I
I
got
liked
it on
one.
sale, and then I was like,
I like them both.
I preferred Infamous.
Having played both of them, I think that Infamous is a better series just because it's more focused, and I think that Prototype 2 is a lot of fun, but it doesn't compete with Infamous. Touching on that very nicely, actually, kind of apt. Actually, I ended up buying Saints Row 4 today. It's
What's why?
It's $20 on at Future Shop.
Okay.
And are you familiar with Jim Sterling? It's kind of an eccentric.
Oh, he's a
Englishman.
reviewer, isn't he?
He is, yes.
Yeah, I think
And
a pretty well-known
Ver-
reviewer.
yeah, very contrarian. He used to be with Destructoid. Now I don't. I think he's
Okay.
with The Escapist. And anyways, he typically gives games that are more commercially accepted very low scores, and he gives games that are he's good like that. And Infamous, he had declared as being very lethargically as being the series that just exists. I mean, in the wake of Prototype that does whatever it does to some extent, in the wake of Saints Row 4, which does everything in this bombastic way,
Mhm.
GTA 5, which is hyper realistic. It just feels that Infamous has lost its place within the open world adventure action genre.
I would say it was very focused. Compared to, I played GTA recently, like
Yes.
within the last 6 months when it came out, and GTA was more focused than I remember 4 or Vice City being, but at the same time it was way more open. Infamous, I found, was incredibly focused. There's not that many side missions. There's side things to do, but they take like a matter of a couple of minutes to do it. It's not like you have a 30-minute side mission that you would have in GTA.
Mhm.
Okay? So every single mission you're doing is very driving the story forward, right? And all the side stuff is just either exploring or doing minute things to further your progression in the percentage kind of thing.
So you're saying that, kind of ironically, the way that Infamous is trying to reestablish itself as a unique and viable game within this genre is to move away from the open worldedness of the open world games and being more focused.
It's funny because it's a linear open world game.
Which I'm completely okay with.
Yeah.
I actually prefer those.
But it's funny what's happening now because within like at the end of the PS2 cycle and all of PS3 and 360, it was all going towards online multiplayer. Everything was going multiplayer. And now you're starting to see all these games like Rise has a very, very retarded, like Rise Son of Rome has a very retarded multiplayer. It was like tacked on, which arguably it should not have been there in the first place, right? Because now Infamous doesn't have any online. Even the Order 1886 or whatever, that game that's coming out later in the year is all only single player. There's no multiplayer at all. Not even co-op. It's a third-person shooter. You think it might have co-op considering there's 4 people in the party, but there's no co-op. It's all single player. So they're starting to push more single-player games like they used to, which is interesting.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too, definitely.
I really hate tactile multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like,
It's ridiculous.
there's
Then
no
you-
point to it at all, unless
tacked
it's
on.
like a fluke.
Like you
Like
said,
Tomb
and
Raider.
it's like-
Tomb Raider is just
if it's-
completely tacked on.
If it's like I can't think of an example. What's a
Why
good
Call of
example
Duty.
of like where it's completely broken?
Broken.
No
Didn't Splinter
way.
Cell have really shitty multiplayer?
Like okay,
Actually, they enjoyed it, no?
yeah.
that's
The newest
one.
one.
The old
The
ones
older
had
ones.
bad
The
I
older
like-
ones were terrible. Yeah.
Like I'll take the. I don't know. I'm
They're
probably
just-
gonna regret saying this, but the original Halo, like that was a kind of like the co-op experience was kind of tacked on. Like the fact that you would play and then the cinematics there would just be one dude,
No,
And then
for
it
sure
would,
was
like,
tapped on.
and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that really worked.
But that was
so
like
well.
original Xbox. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it was
man.
so far away. It was like they didn't care. It's
Well,
like,
yeah. Even the
That's going
second
way
one had
back.
the same.
Honestly, I don't give a shit if like it's tacked on co-op. If
Tacked on
I
co-op
can
is
play
fine,
the
yeah.
story
Right.
with a friend,
Right.
like that is the best thing.
Give it.
Oh man, I will buy that game. There is not enough of that, especially where
especially if it's couch co-op.
yeah,
Fuck.
and like
Yeah, but
I
the thing
really
is,
want that in the PC as
You
well.
need to own a couch
more-
if you want to play couch co-op. I don't even own a couch. As a bachelor living in my bachelor pad, I only have a futon, and
It's not the
doesn't,
same.
it doesn't work with the
Not the same.
It
specification
doesn't
of
have
it.
co-op capability.
It has a camera. You need to use the camera. It scans
Exactly.
your room. There's only a chair. They're like, nope.
No.
Couch invalid.
All right.
Not
Andy,
worthy.
Andy, what were you playing this week?
What was I playing? Nidhogg.
Yeah, you guys were playing that outside. What the fuck is that? What was it
It's
called?
awesome is what it
Yeah,
is.
just describe how it happened. Describe
Well,
the
first of all,
story
it's a Flash game.
outside.
The story. Okay, so we pulled. Well, first of all, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm late." I was like 4 minutes late getting to your house.
Okay, I was still
I
waiting
was
on
like
everyone.
4 minutes late. But and I saw these two guys, Brandon and Kyle, standing behind Kyle's car, and I pull up behind him and get out, and then, like normal people do, I open the trunk of my car, open my laptop, and
Start
we
playing video games.
started playing Nidhogg. And what's the temperature? Like -6 degrees outside.
Minus
And,
the wind chill.
yeah, so we were playing that, and honestly, it's so much fun. It's like a
It was some random 2D game that
yeah.
It's a Flash game.
with
Honestly,
a fucking snake coming out and eating people. Like
It's I don't know
What's
if
the price?
the price is justified right now. It's
$15. Yeah.
$15 on Steam.
What's it called again?
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg.
So that's NIDHOGG.
H-O-G-G.
Yeah.
Nidhogg.
Where was
yeah.
it developed? In what country?
I don't know.
Okay, so what
But
is
it's won a ton of awards.
It was 1-on-1 or whatever. They both had controllers.
So it's a versus game. It's a kind of tug of war game. So
Okay.
the way it works is that there are 1, 2,
I think 4.
7. Are there 7 screens?
Oh,
He was
technically-
counting in his head.
Okay, no.
Yeah, so-
No, it's like 4 each plus the starting.
3 each.
Is it
plus
3
the
each?
starting.
So
Okay.
7, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
3 each plus
7.
7.
So you start in the middle screen, so the
Okay.
fourth screen.
Yeah.
And you basically just have to try and kill each other. The first person, like, if you kill the other player, you're allowed to start running to the goal.
Okay.
Like, which is
The end
3
zone.
screens
Okay, yeah.
over, right? But if the person kills you, they can start running to their side.
So it's back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can basically, you can throw your sword.
Well, it's a fencing. So
You can,
that's-
yeah, it's a fencing game. That's
It's a
basically it.
fencing game.
But like this, oh man, it's so well thought out. Like if you can still kill the player if you don't have a sword,
Okay.
and you can crouch, stab.
How's the
and,
actual
like,
combat?
the actual? Actually, there are some levels like
It actually takes some
It's like
thinking.
rock paper
There
scissors
are-
almost.
it is kind of, we didn't play any of like the technical levels, but like the one that we played, the castle level, the first level, is very open, so you can jump around.
So it's
and
just the
stab
basic
people.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are levels where you're not able to jump, and you're forced. You can't throw your sword either, so you're forced to. With the left analog, I believe it's on the Xbox controller. It's the left analog stick. You have to actually fence.
Okay.
So you have to match
With the left analog,
stabs of
the left
other-
analog stick is the sword play.
controls the height of the.
Really?
Yeah,
How do you run
it's left and right.
on the right analog stick?
Man, I'm
It's super
confused.
weird.
No, maybe
Because
up
to
and down.
raise your
Hold the
to-
controller. Hold
Man,
the controller.
No, it's the right analog stick.
It's the right.
Yeah.
To what? Control the
'Cause the
sword.
left
or
one
It
is
move?
to
must be.
move.
It must be.
Yeah, the
But-
left one is to move. I don't know, because to throw it is just to hold up and then push the X button, right?
Maybe that's okay. Maybe it is. Maybe just the throw. You hold up.
Yeah.
And then you throw. You hold. You press attack, and you.
I
throw.
can see the confusion in his face.
like, but like that's. Oh man, it's so much fun because there are mutators too, so you can change the gameplay. So you can make it so the swords have boomerang effects. So you throw them and they'll come back. Like your opponent will jump over the sword and
Yeah.
it'll come back and nail you in the face. Like, and you can add low gravity, so you're all jumping up in the air and like.
It almost feels like in the new Mortal
hilarious.
Kombat they had the choose your luck or whatever. So you're fighting before you fight. They have like a slot machine effect where it changes everything.
Wow.
And I remember that was the only way Eric, like my friend Eric, whatever, they would only play that mode because he was okay at it, but other people were better. It's like this evens the playing field. And he said the worst thing that ever happened. They were playing upside down. They had no arms, and it kept flashing. The flashing is the worst because as soon as it goes back, you're like, "Where the fuck's my character?" It's so
And
jarring.
you have no arm.
It's really funny.
That
Fantastic.
sounds
So
awesome.
you just kick.
You can just kick, yeah.
Besides that, I played a little bit of. Is it Dead Nation? The free.
Dead Nation, the free game, yeah.
So I think I've played that before on the PC. Like it's
The
a
PS3. It was
PS3 had it.
It was
Okay.
originally on the PS3. Yeah, I
Okay.
played it originally on the PS3
Yeah.
also.
And I was like, this looks familiar.
Well, it's just a
Well, that's
top-down
it.
zombie
Like I
killing
said,
game.
the Red Nation. That's the one I played
Red
on
Nation.
Steam.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
It's the same thing. Maybe
Maybe
it's.
platinum.
I don't know.
It was, 'cause like I told him when he told me Dead Nation, I thought it was the Red Nation.
Yeah.
Literally same
It's,
game.
It's fun.
It's fun, yeah, but it crashes all the time.
Oh, really? I haven't experienced any crashing.
Were you playing online or
No, just
offline?
offline.
See, that's the thing. If you play online, it crashes.
Okay.
But even if you're logged in, it just because every time it tries to connect to the servers, it just crashes.
Okay.
But they released a patch for it, but I haven't played since then, so I don't know if they fixed it or not. But it was fun. I'm gonna eventually platinum it. I just have to go through Morbid. So, Brandon, what have you been playing this week?
So in the wake of
Alan.
my
Pokemon
wait,
addiction.
he said wake too a couple of times.
Did
I think it's like stuck. Yeah, you were saying wake. You said wake a couple of times. Okay. Long story short, my 3DS had broken.
broke. That's right.
Yeah. So I
Too much Pokemon X.
too much Pokemon X. I put in 80 hours. Just
So you can even
Reading-
play Zelda if you wanted to.
Well, you can. You can play it on both screens separately in 2 different rooms at once. Well, one is flickering white nonsense, and the other one is not functioning.
So yeah, I sent in my 3DS for repairs. I got
Yeah.
it today.
Oh, you got it
Pretty
back.
quick. Yeah,
That was really fast.
like the day I
Like
told
he was
you.
telling me about. He was telling me about it Sunday.
Yeah,
I already got it back.
I sent
Damn
it in
it,
on
Nintendo.
Friday.
Actually, it's not even as fast as fucking Amazon though. He ordered his PS4 yesterday.
I'm getting it tomorrow.
He's getting it tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
How the fuck? How is
No,
Amazon that
that's-
fast?
That's priority, but I mean that's
Priority.
How much more did you pay for priority?
$10.
Really? That's
This is like-
amazing.
this
That's
is like-
Why did you get a
ridiculous.
priority if you don't have
Yeah,
these?
I don't care.
No, Marvel seems to provide-
I want to open the box and be like, yeah.
It's like any
I
fast
have it.
delivery, right?
Yeah.
Like either it's going to take 4 to 5 business days, or you do fast delivery and it's 1 to 2. I'm like, what? How?
Honestly, the time
How?
before you even play the system is just that excitement. Before you
Jeff
open the
Bezos?
box,
No, I don't.
he's getting it tomorrow.
Get it.
He's
And
getting
he's
it
gonna-
tomorrow.
He's gonna look at it. You're gonna cry. Maybe you'll take a shower with it, and then afterwards you'll open it up.
And then
it's
all
another
you'll have
thing.
to play is Dead Nation.
Exactly.
Big
No,
plastic
but-
bag.
No, I'll lend him Thief. I'll lend him Thief.
They're both in these like body bags.
My buddy gave me Thief
Yeah?
because he worked
He
on
worked
it,
for it, yeah.
and he didn't charge me. That was nice of
That's
him.
nice. Anyways, Brandon, you got your 3DS back today.
Yeah, so I played Pokemon for 5 minutes and said fuck it, and I started playing
You're all
Zelda.
done.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like, okay, well, after
No
this-
more,
No
more
more-
training.
I
gonna
got
break it.
Zelda. I got Zelda.
After 80 hours and 5 minutes.
No more, no more sex slave.
Yeah.
Now you broke your things? Fuck it.
Fucking
No, I don't even know how I broke it, but long story
I'm
short,
done with this game.
I kept my 3DS in my bag, it's in its little whatever thing that it
Cocoon?
came with. Little
Yeah, that like that weird
I don't even know what to call it.
semi-see-through thing that I.
Is
I
it what
keep
they
the
put
same-
fruits in sometimes?
Long story short, I kept it in my bag at work and never used it that day. Or I think I was actually here and I left it in my bag.
Mhm.
So after the podcast on Wednesday, like Wednesday night, I popped it open, and it was giving me Wi-Fi problems. Like it would automatically shut down. It says,
Yeah.
it says an error has occurred. Please check www.nintendo, whatever. So I realized if I turned the Wi-Fi off, it would work. But there goes half the reason to
To
own
have
the
the
3DS.
3DS.
So the Wi-Fi, like with Pokemon, like with the trading system and all these features that require Wi-Fi
Mhm.
to work. So
You saying that they don't use the transfer cables anymore?
I
No, they use the LED light on top
Yo,
of
if
the
you had
game.
one of those, you were king of the fucking playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the
Who wants to trade?
the king had the 4-split one.
Oh yeah.
so
Those existed.
Yeah, there was a 4-split. I
Oh
had one of those.
shit!
It had an adapter in the middle and it went to 3 others.
That was inspired by polygamy. The director of Nintendo was like, "I want more wives," and like someone else was like, "We can
No,
turn
it's
that
not
into some
polygamy.
sort of an idea."
It was
It's a
Brown.
harem. He wants a harem.
So long story short, I started about an hour into
Zelda,
Zelda.
yeah. Is it the best Zelda you've ever played?
I've only been an hour in, but it's really fun. And I'm playing Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, really?
Oh shit!
I can lend you Assassin's Creed also.
There you go.
Simultaneously playing the best game you'll ever play and the worst game you'll ever play.
You gotta keep it balanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I'll have
He
like an
can't get too
average
excited
opinion.
about one.
You gotta keep Zelda open just in case you start to rage on Assassin's Creed. You just look at it.
Did you finish to that or whatever the whatever
Brotherhood and
I finished Brotherhood, but
Revelations.
I didn't buy Revelations. I'm not gonna bother.
Oh.
I don't want. I
It's
mean,
the-
it's
it's
the
the final-
Ezio trilogy, but
It
I mean,
finishes-
like, how many fucking Assassin's Creed games can you make, Ubisoft?
Infinite.
You know.
Yeah, it's
technically.
So, I mean, I've only been 2 hours into Assassin's Creed, and I'm kind of pissed off with the tutorial. Like, can you fucking?
Sean said that was the best part.
It was the
It
best
is.
part.
Actually,
It
no.
is?
Not just
Oh my
the
God.
tutorial, just hunting things.
No,
No,
honestly,
but it's
like
not
I
even
said,
there. I'm playing a white man. I'm
Oh, the
expecting
father.
I'm Indian.
the
It's
father from the
You just
nanny.
ruined it for me now.
The nanny, really?
Yeah, I think it's the guy from the nanny. No, like that woman with that really
Speaking of
irritating
voice actors, I really want to look into the Infamous's voice actors because I recognize almost all of them. I don't know where they're from, but they all sound very familiar. So, Daz, what you been playing?
I played GTA 5 this week.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Wait, did you play it before or just started?
I've played it before,
Okay.
but now I'm in the I don't give a fuck mode. So it's just blowing shit up and killing cops.
Yeah.
Are you playing online or?
No, I was playing with Joe and Renault yesterday. Just like steal fast car, soup up fast car, turn off autosave, buy guns.
Did you do the cheat to send you in the air?
Yes!
Like skydive?
Yes! Oh man, like we were just basically trying to like do the stunt jumps and shit, which was fucking hilarious because Joe had somehow caught his car on fire, and like the ramps at the airport that go straight up.
Yeah.
He hits it, and it's like slow motion. We're all like, "Oh my god!" And then Renault's like, if you push a button, it speeds up the slow mo. So he's trying to figure out what button to push to speed up the slow motion, and he pushes triangle. So he gets out of the car as it's in the air, and he plummets to the ground, and he lands, and he survives
Oh, wow.
this like crash from orbit. And then the car lands and explodes against him.
Oh my god.
There's just so many instances of shit like that happening.
What are the
It's like
odds?
you get out of a car and just get run over by an ambulance. Like if you play long enough, the game starts to fuck with you.
Well, it's like the fire trucks too, right?
Yeah,
They'll just start fucking hitting you
and
for no
then
reason.
at one point, there was like these gangbangers were coming after me, so
Gangbangers.
I fucking take out my sniper rifle and I was like, I'm gonna kill one of them. So I shoot the guy in the passenger seat. The other guy gets out, runs away. So I take the car and I'm just going on a joyride with this dead guy in my passenger seat. And
Yeah,
I did
man, breakfast at Morty's.
I did the whole thing in cinematic mode. So I was trying to get away from the cops, and then like if you get a helicopter, it's like, from the helicopter's point of view, so you're like trying to steer around everyone while you can't really see out your windshield. It kind of adds a different dynamic to the police chases.
Yeah.
And then we just gave up, and I was like, I'm looking up cheats. I don't give a fuck.
I said breakfast at Morty's isn't a weekend with Bernie.
It would be Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant to say.
That's probably why we all laughed.
Yeah.
Weekend at Tiffany's.
Yeah,
And breakfast at
Oh yeah.
Bernie's.
yeah. Then it was weekend. Yeah,
Ironically, there's a breakfast place down the street from Renault's place called Bernie's that has topless waitresses.
Oh,
topless
you- that's
waitresses.
right.
What?
All those right there.
All those
That's
right
in
there.
Ville Saint Laurent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those like a street
Did you
across
that,
from there.
or
And it's like in a warehouse.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyways, I remember I was
How's
reading
their
something
food?
a little while ago.
I hadn't been.
Oh.
It was talking about the old GTA games, and
But
nothing
only their
beats
milk. I had to say that. I'm sorry.
nothing
Milk
beats
shakes.
sniping people in Vice City and having their heads go.
Yeah, I missed that
man.
so much.
Spurts of blood over their face.
Or GTA.
So
I would just
good.
camp on top of like a warehouse building.
Yeah.
And just
And then we discovered the Playboy Mansion that's in. I don't know if you've been there yet.
No, I haven't.
What?
Yeah, if you go to a certain part of it has the grotto and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And if you hide in the grotto, there's only 3 entrances, so then you just start hucking grenades until the cops come. And they can only funnel in from 3 entrances, so you just fucking blow them all away, and
That's pretty amazing.
it was good. I don't know what else I tried to do.
That's
But
hilarious.
the cheats are a lot of fun, spawning.
Tanks.
And then I went on a bicycle ride, tried to climb a mountain, and then I jumped off the mountain and somehow landed it. And then we did a Skyfall cheat, which is like the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Like
so funny.
007, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can only survive if you nosedive and land on your head.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
It's the only way to survive, and it's like it's a good way to get across map. And,
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
yeah. So we've given up on everything else, and we're just raising hell, trying to steal planes at the airport, which
Good
is a lot
stuff.
harder than
The
you-
military-
It's so hard because
The
as soon as you
military
get in there,
would
like,
say-
oh no,
I
you
saw
can't
the
take a
best way to
plane.
do that. I saw-
Well, Renault stole the jet. He
Well,
like
it's
he drove
so hard to
he
get
drove
that
like
jet out.
Yeah, he drove a garbage truck in there, and then he stole the jet, and he took off like he was going. He was like, "Holy fuck, I made it!" And then just missiles start coming up all over the place, and they clip his left wing.
Oh no.
But he's still going, like his left tail rudder, and he's still going. And he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I made it!" He's so excited, and then you just see the jet go, and it dies, and he just fucking crashes into the side of a mountain and
the
explodes.
best way to do it I saw,
Oh.
because I saw some people trying to do this, they just parachute. They don't parachute, they parachute last minute, but they skydive
Mm.
into it. And then they try to land on a plane with the parachute. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you just get in and you take off.
Wow.
But
But like the keep
the
going,
key
sorry.
is to stay low as possible.
So you don't get like.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
get targeted by the anti-air missiles.
Yeah, I take the one in the hangar. There's one in the
Oh yeah.
hangar, and you just take off. Like I skydive into it, take it, and then as soon as you get over the fence, you fly down because you can go below the level of the.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
that's
there
the
are.
rocks, right?
Because it has to be like under 100 feet or whatever to
Yeah.
the ground.
Huh.
It's
But you gotta
ridiculous.
be really far away.
Yeah. And then
Where's
Renault,
100 meters? I don't know.
Renault tried to steal one of like the 747s. And he tried to take off really fast.
Those ones aren't as bad. The private jets are harder in the airport than the
Well,
jumbos.
because the jumbos you just steal them while they're on the runway. Like while they're driving,
Exactly.
you crash a car into
That's
the
the
fucking thing. But if you try to take off too fast, the tail hits and then the thing just folds in half and explodes. It happened like 3 times.
It's not
Oh
really
my
fun.
god,
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
and that's what. That's
One thing have they added heists yet to online? Have
Heist?
they
I
done
haven't
that?
played online yet.
I've never tried the
Well,
online.
like,
Just add heist DLCs from now on.
I'm like waiting for them to release some sort of like the equivalent for GTA 4, where they release those completely different DLCs.
Oh, like
So stoked.
Ballad of Gay Tony and
yeah,
stuff like
so
that.
stoked,
But,
because
like,
I know
do
they're
they-
gonna do that.
Are they gonna do that?
I
Because
hope
they
they're gonna
have
do
the
that.
3 characters. Like they
Yeah, so why not have
because
3
the-
DLCs?
They'll
Yeah,
probably
but the
One
thing with
each or
GTA
other
4 is
people?
that it was very serious. The Ballad of Gay Tony was like stupid.
But everyone
Right?
had the best
Yeah.
time
That was
with it,
really
right?
stupid. That was like bringing back the old style, like
yeah.
the old style GTA where you could do whatever you
It was
wanted.
zany, yeah.
Like I remember GTA, was it GTA 3 or well, whatever? San Andreas was absolutely insane. Like
Yeah.
with driving motorbikes off mountains and like
Beating
stealing
people with
planes.
dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember that, and that was what I missed in GTA 4. And then they added that DLC. I didn't actually play it, but
I heard it was
it
really
It's
good.
there.
That was,
Yeah.
I
Also-
heard all the DLC for GTA 4 was much better than the actual game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like there's enough in GTA 5 for them to just
They might do it eventually.
I don't know.
Well,
I feel like they will do it just because I feel like so much of the map wasn't explored by any story. You know what I mean? Like I would just love for them to create these very unusual but controlled scenarios.
Well, that's what the Easter eggs are for.
Yeah, but that's for people who are
But-
a little bit more, like Kyle's mentioning, just having fun with it. That feels
Well, it's just
spontaneous,
exploring.
I would-
which is fine. But I mean, like you don't have control over that. You might play, 100% of the 100% you're playing, maybe 3% of that or 4% of the time will be that weird, fantastic moment.
Yeah.
But they want to turn that into something more focused that more gamers can experience.
But
more
what does that defy the point of it actually being like an Easter egg? Like the thing with the woman that killed herself on the cliff. Like you guys said, it was in a radio thing. It happened to be the wife of some big
The
businessman. or
fuck
whatever.
you- oh,
The ghost, the woman ghost. There's a story behind her.
woman ghost? What are you talking
What
about?
In
is happening
GTA
right
5.
now?
Is that me who's talking about that?
No, I think so. It was GTA
Woman
5.
ghost in GTA
Yo,
5?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's a
nightmares
ghost. There's
now.
a woman with a ghost, and you just see it floating. You
What
gotta.
the fuck are you
No,
talking
You
about?
know about that?
No.
There's a woman on a cliff somewhere in GTA 5. You can only see her from far away. If you get close, she disappears. But if you scope in, you can see her. Turns out that nobody knew who it was. Turns out it's like the wife of some businessman that they talk about in the game. They actually mention it on the radio. They're like, the wife of whatever died so long ago, and they were just mentioning it.
What
And
the
it's like,
fuck?
and
That's
this is
crappy.
all in the game if you
Actually
actually
play it.
follow.
Actually
Yeah.
look for it? That's messed
The
up.
story is in the game. It's
No
just
clue.
you gotta be aware of it.
Ah,
Oh,
Crazy.
that is horrible.
You gotta be
Don't
able
like
to like all the Easter eggs. You can find them. Like
Okay.
someone found an alien under the ice, right? No one knows why it's there.
Yeah, the
It's
alien
just there.
under the ice is in the beginning scene.
Yeah, but that's it. Nobody knows why it's there yet.
Yeah.
It's just there
How
for
did they get
whatever.
there? No, but that's it. It's there
But
for
it's
a reason.
stupid
There's
Easter-
story
no.
behind
It
everything.
can just be an Easter egg.
It could be.
Yeah,
But
okay,
what's it-
it's like GTA 4. What's the reason for there being a heart inside of
Yeah.
the Statue of
course.
Liberty? There's nothing. There's,
Of course, it's just
it's
creepy.
just there.
It's just creepy stuff.
Same thing with the alien. It's just
Maybe.
there.
But so far, almost everything that they've put in there has some sort of story involved. So far, in the rest of it.
All right, Sean, what have you been playing this week?
I started playing Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor?
Lone Survivor, which is apparently the director's cut for the Vita. It came out on Steam.
So yeah, I recognize that name, but I don't.
Lone Survivor.
Never
I
actually
think I
looked into
own
it.
that.
Wow. It's
Humble
2D.
Bundle.
It's,
Yeah.
I would recommend it to people. It is very strange.
Yeah.
Very
What is
strange. It's a 2D game, pixelated. It has that sort of like Super Nintendo look to it, I guess.
Okay.
That Nidhogg look.
Nidhogg,
So 64-bit.
less than 64.
No,
bit.
16.
16 bit.
Is
Sorry,
it based
16
off the
bit.
mediocre movie called Lone Survivor in
Definitely.
2013,
Featuring
Definitely.
John Cena.
featuring Mark
No, Mark
Wahlberg, Taylor? I don't know who the fuck.
Speaking
I
of
see
those
him
people,
already.
did you see that Hercules trailer with
Yes.
fucking The
The
Rock?
Rock.
What?
Someone was joking. He's more ripped than the armor that is ripped.
Dude, he's been training for like 8 hours a day.
Fucking huge. He's like
He's a gorilla.
He's walking like this with a mace. He's
Yeah.
like
Fucking
Apparently,
gorilla.
it takes him 3 hours to put that beard on, and it's made out of yak hair.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
All right, anyways,
He
continue.
looks good with his hair shaved like that too. It's a
Yeah.
good look for him.
that's how giant he is.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's a large man.
I'd watch that movie though.
oh, I'd watch it.
Anyway,
Too.
back to video games.
Yes, Lone Survivor is a 2D game that I think in a lot of ways, I'm going to throw this word out there, it subverts your expectations of the horror survival game.
It's a horror game.
It's a survival game with psychological components in it.
Mm.
You play a survivor who
Is alone.
is alone, and
Survivor.
the premise is that you have your apartment that you see. It reminds me a lot of Hotline Miami.
Okay.
It's kind of got that weird surreal feel to it where you control a person who you don't directly understand, if that makes sense. And the main character's name is you, so it's played in the second person, right? Which a lot of people don't like. And
Oh, didn't Erickson play this?
yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He talked
Yes.
about it when he was in the podcast.
Yeah. And so, anyways,
Okay, this one. Okay.
oh yes, this game. Yeah,
I didn't know what
you
you're talking
know,
about
the
first.
one that Erickson played.
No, it's because it's not the only one to talk about.
Oh, Erickson
He's
played
alone.
it. Now I'm interested.
No, because
No, now I remember.
It's with the drugs, right? Like you
Yes,
got it out.
yeah.
Okay,
And
see,
like
I
there's
know
that
what you're talking
random girl
Yes.
with a party. And
Yes.
Because you said you wanted to play it. That's
Yeah,
why.
I
know
do.
the
I
only
do.
one.
Yeah, I do want to play it, and now I am playing
now
it.
you're playing it.
It's weird how time folds on itself,
Mm. Small world.
and anyways, so the one thing about it which is interesting is that the things in most survival horror games that you depend on, for example, your map, your flashlight, ammunition, things of this nature, the food in particular and the map system, which you seem to depend on a lot in this because you get hungry, you become tired, I don't feel like you're directly in control of. And so you see a lot of food that you collect that you want to eat, and the character will say, I am hungry. So you eat something, and normally you have like non-perishables because that's really what survives in an apocalyptic setting.
Beans.
Beans, but you have to open the beans with a can opener, and then you have to cook them. You cannot access the map ever until there's certain points in the game when you decide to access them. You
Wait,
push
what?
circle. There's a function to circle for map. You click on it, and the main character always says, I don't need to look at this. I know where I am.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it subverts
What
your
an asshole.
What an
Exactly.
asshole.
There's a lot of
Seriously.
For example, there's a lot of food that you need to eat, and it always wants you to eat non-perishables. And what that does is it affects your psychology. What effects does it have on the game? I don't know yet. I haven't played enough of it.
Okay, so you said it wants you to eat non-perishables, but
Yeah.
when you get if you get perishables, what, you're just gonna be like, fuck it, I don't
Well,
want to eat
you
this?
found a ham at one point,
whole
but I
ham?
haven't
A
found
whole
the propane
ham, yeah.
tank to cook it. Yeah,
He's
And
a full pig.
it just feels like a very strange game. Have you watched anything by David
This is
Lynch?
again the plight
No.
of the Russian.
Yeah, it just,
I have ham, but no propane.
Where's the vodka?
Anyways,
Yaroslav, bring tank. We should ham.
anyways, I haven't seen anything with that Lynch guy.
it just feels very unusual. Like you're watching something, but you're standing beside yourself while you're playing it, and you're trying to make sense of what it is. And it's a psychological thriller. There are monsters in it, kind of like Silent Hill.
Okay.
I kind of feel that the monsters are human beings that you're killing because of your poor psychological state. But I don't
So
know
you
if
think
that's
it's like a psychedelic trip that he's on?
definitely because he just you just feel like
Watch what I have.
you're playing the avatar, but there is this wall between you and the avatar.
Okay.
It's a little bit like Spec Ops: The Line. Have you guys played Spec Ops: The Line?
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Where it is one of the few games where the game is necessary to be a video game, right? I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of games you play, like, whatever, they don't need to. But this plays so well because as the game progresses, your animations become more grotesque and you feel increasingly removed from the character
That's
because
You're forced. Your hand is forced into the most awful situations possible. The awful choices, rather.
Okay.
I played the demo of it. It was horrible. I didn't want to play this game. It's just a generic shit.
So why'd
If
you end
play
up playing
anything
it
more
then?
than that first half hour, it
Yeah.
becomes this very disturbing.
So how come
Yeah.
you ended up playing it?
It was free on PS Plus.
What is
And then it was
Spec Ops
fantastic.
Spec Ops: The Line. It's very good.
It's really the story.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
gameplay is just but everything.
Everything else is good.
It's just third person shooter. Nothing new. It's just the story is just.
Cool. Cool.
But so Lone Survivor I recommend it to people. It's an
I
indie
think I
title.
have it.
It is very unusual. You'll feel strange playing.
That's what he's hung up on.
Because I bought the Humble Bundle, and I
Okay.
think that came with, and it was like all the horror. It was that, fucking Limbo, which I'm never playing again.
Why not? It's so
Just I have
creepy.
horrible
Like the
arachnophobia.
spider. There's
Oh.
this spider that just
That's just once.
No, you have to fight like 4 or 5 of them,
you have to fight it multiple times.
and it's just like,
okay.
It's that first level, right? You gotta
and it
fight
came
it.
with amnesia, which
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
I
say.
deleted
Oh
it.
man,
I was like, I'm not playing this fucking game.
oh, you have to play that. You have to finish.
I watched
it.
him play Outlast, and it really pissed myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's not that.
Yeah.
It is bad, but it's not that bad, I guess.
Anyways, Matt, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I had mentioned it a long time ago, but I finally decided to play it. It's called
Tetris.
Beat Buddy.
Beat Buddy?
Beat Buddy.
The fuck is that?
Not like that.
It's
But
beat as
except-
not that
You
kind
could-
of beating.
Imagine Metal Gear Solid, but you masturbate on.
No, it's it's the Russian ones, the beats. that
So
they
it's
use
Russian people jacking each other off.
while eating beats
Well,
Oh,
eating
okay.
beats.
and listening with beats to beats.
Okay, Matt.
Okay, so I can't. I forget what the type of game it is, but it's like it's a 2D.
You-
No, no,
Did
no, no,
you
no.
just play it? How do
No,
you
no, but
forget what
the
type of game
no,
it
no,
is?
I don't know the name of it. It's like a 2D. It's like you're floating around in the world, whatever.
Okay.
You can go whichever way, but it's like very linear because there's paths that it gives you. But it's like it's not like the spaceship ones where you have to push a button to keep going.
I am lost completely.
I have to show you. But
Sorry.
it's like a 2D game, right?
Yes.
And you're essentially like in caves, I guess. That's what it is.
Okay.
And
What?
it's like you're in water and you can just swim.
And
That's the animation it gives. It looks like he's swimming.
swimming through the air. Okay.
Yes. Anyways, it's all based on music.
hmm
There are no actual enemies, but you can get hurt by the environment. And as you go, certain environment makes certain sounds, and you can trigger them. Like there's seaweed or whatever it looks like,
Yeah.
and you can hit a snail, and the snail will activate it. Like I guess it makes like a cry or whatever. It brings down the seaweed, and the noise that the seaweed made inertly goes away.
Okay.
But it's actually beats to music. Like certain things make cymbal
okay.
sounds.
Can you put your own music into the game? or
No,
is
no,
it
it's
all
already. It's like
this is
jazz.
already
It's,
free?
there's jazz music. It's like
What platform is this?
PC.
PC. It's on
Yes,
Steam.
for sure.
I've heard of that.
What
before.
other
I think you told
platform
me
Yeah,
would
well,
it
that's
be
why
on?
I said
Yeah.
I had mentioned it before.
What's the name of the game again?
Beat
Beats.
Buddy.
Beat Buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat Buddy. Because that's
So-
what they are. They're your beat. And they have headphones on. It looks like he's got beats on. It's a
What's-
little blue guy.
What's the purpose of the game? What's the goal overall?
So
goal?
far, I have no idea. Like, you're just, like honestly, like you're just collecting notes and getting to the
I
end of
love
the level.
those types of games.
You're
It
just
sounds like life.
Yeah.
You're
I
honestly
do
just going
enjoy
through,
that.
like,
What
there's narrative. There's kind of narrative in it. You meet different
kind of
people.
narrative.
Like that
Well, that's it.
Jargon
Like there's
skit.
3 deities. And you're playing one. Wait, I don't know what the other 2. Maybe they come in later.
Okay.
Maybe in other levels. So far, though, I play this one,
Mhm.
and you're just trying to save, I guess, the grand music. That's what it is. And some guy's stealing it. I have no idea.
And this is the narrative.
I guess this is the way it starts off, right? It's just very vague.
How long have you played the game?
Not very long. Well, I played at the first level, but it lasted at least like an hour because I was taking my time with it and I got lost because it's like really simple puzzles, but it's those simple puzzles like we did in Lego where you just don't know what to do anymore.
God,
And I got lost
like,
sitting there. I'm like, well,
super like it's supposed to be obvious, but it's not.
well, that's it. It was literally really obvious when I figured it out. But I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore. Now I'm lost swimming around for hours.
See, the problem is, like in Lego, we spent an hour, or maybe it felt like an hour, but it probably wasn't, trying to
3
figure
minutes.
out what to do. No, it was definitely longer.
It was
than
at
3
least
minutes.
20 minutes.
Trying to figure out what to do in this one room. And the thing is, we actually tried to do what you need to do, but it didn't work.
For some reason.
And then so you don't revisit that, right?
Why are you
Until,
guys
like-
being so vague with this? Why don't you just tell us?
I don't know what it was.
It was
like,
a rocket to a box.
You have to blow up this box, but I swear to God, I tried to blow it up,
Both did, I
and
think.
it never
I swear
worked.
to God.
It just didn't fucking lock on. And then like half an hour later, you try again. It's like, why does it work now? And it's just stupid.
Anyways, as you go through the
Do it,
level, the
bro.
good things, there's like these, I guess, mirrors that you can reflect yourself off of because you can speed up and it just gets you around certain obstacles faster.
Mhm.
But everything is music based, like I said, that's why it's called beats.
Yeah.
So there's like cymbal sounds or certain things that have a bass or a snare.
Mhm.
So as you go through the level and you start activating all these things, they actually start making a song. So about halfway through the level, you actually get to start listening to the song as you go,
Mhm.
and as you go further or further away from certain items, it'll remove it from the song.
Okay.
So at one point you'll have either the full song and then you start losing the bass or the snare.
Okay.
It's really nice.
But okay,
it's
so
music based. That's what it
I
is.
know. But when you start removing elements, I feel like
Well, it's not
there should be more elements than needed at the beginning, and then it should remove it to be
Right.
more
Well,
structured.
It sounds like it's actually the game is punishing you for progressing.
Exactly, it's making the song less
Well, no, but
appealing
But when
because
it
it's
starts,
removing stuff.
when it starts, you're literally in the silence, and all you hear is your little guy making like a squip, squip as he's.
So it
flying
adds.
through, okay.
So you remove the
Yeah,
seaweed
well,
and then
that's
it
it.
removes the ambient noise, but creates like the bass line.
That's it. It creates
Okay.
something, but it goes away and comes back because like when the seaweed's there,
Yeah.
it's kind of making a noise. But then when you take it away, it kind of stops. But then it comes back because
I
it's just so you can. It opens a path so you can continue.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
you have to open it up.
Yeah.
But you can get hurt. You can die, and then there's other people involved.
Interesting.
I've not played enough of it. to know. I
Phantasmagorical.
played one level and stopped. There's collectibles, of course, and I missed like.
Can I have the question of the week?
Oh, I had a good one.
I was gonna
Oh, wait,
say
I actually have a sample.
I
of this.
I was
made
gonna
up one
say
right now.
before we get into the question, the only thing I'm gonna bring up for discussion is Facebook buying Oculus
Yeah, I was gonna say the
for
same thing.
$2 billion.
But people are
Wow.
canceling their pre-orders because they're thinking Oculus is gonna go in a different direction now.
But see, the thing is, that's kind of stupid at the same
Everyone's-
time.
Circle jerking about this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they bought it. It's not like they're gonna be like, hey, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. It's
Yeah,
like, hey, we have this company now. Have some fucking money.
Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, it was crowdsourced before. People crowdsourced, like they were asking for like less than $1 million. They ended up getting $2 million at the end of the Kickstarter, and now they have $2 billion after a couple of years.
Oh God.
So I mean, like that's a lot of funding.
Can I interject as a opposite view to this a little bit, if I may? I read this article, which I think was pretty insightful, actually, when, I'm going to butcher his name, someone's going to have to correct me, Peter Molyneux?
No, that's
Could've-
not how you spell it.
yeah.
That's how you
That
pronounce
is,
it.
that is how you pronounce it? He was explaining how Bullfrog was bought by EA, am I right in saying
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
And how a lot of people, the media, had sort of pegged EA as being a villain because they closed Bullfrog, they ended up destroying this beautiful child of game creating
Theme Hospital,
project.
man!
I love Theme Hospital.
I have.
I thought
Theme
that
Hospital
game was
PS1.
amazing. I had fond
Yeah.
memories of those mini games. We have to destroy the rats in between missions.
Yeah.
Rats.
So
Why are
good.
there rats in your hospital?
No, man, it
It's
was
a bad
Theme Hospital.
It's a
Yeah,
bad
it's a
hospital.
bad hospital.
Or it's a hospital for rats.
It's
There
it's
you
a
go.
hospital. in
It
China.
might
I
be
never
right.
understood that game. I always got to a point where I just seemed to lose for
Yeah,
no
me
apparent
too. Me
reason.
too. That sickness that you couldn't cure fast enough.
All right.
Everyone
Anyways,
should be
back on
researching.
point. Back on point.
Sorry, yes. So Bullfrog was closed,
Mhm.
and they actually EA had killed them with caring. So what happened is that Bullfrog was bought over, and this cushion, this envelope of funds poured into it. They started to integrate a lot of this quote unquote professionalization to it, so like a proper HR structure, different environments, and then this cushion ended up deflating the artistic value that the creators brought to their projects, and then it just dissolved. And so sometimes, not saying that this won't happen, I actually haven't read anything up on it. I didn't even know what happened until like 12 seconds ago. But Oculus may have a culture which isn't conducive to this money influx.
See, the thing is, other people have talked, like, so far Facebook hasn't, like, it's a new generation of company trying to take over stuff, right?
Mhm.
It's not like EA. EA is run by old men. Old men, I'm doing bunny ears right now, quotations.
So people who are 27 years old.
No, they're like in their 50s maybe, they're not in their 80s like some companies, like people like running
Yes.
Ford or whatever,
Yeah.
for instance. But, so Facebook is run by a new generation of people, right?
Right.
They bought Instagram. They bought like WhatsApp, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Those things are flourishing. They're buying them because they are promising companies that can expand like Facebook's catalog of like applications,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
They're not trying to destroy anything. They're just trying to increase their application, right? They're not trying to stifle smaller companies. They're trying to expand them.
So before Brandon jumps in, so
just to add on to what he's saying, what Adam's saying is exactly the same thing. Is Facebook is not trying to diminish or take over these
Yeah, they don't want to tell Instagram what to do.
Yeah.
Right? They just want to own Instagram because Instagram is doing good.
So they can have their
because they
income.
have all this money to spend, and they're like, well, social media can only go too far. Like you can't push social media. Like it's gone. It's reached its climax or whatever you want to call it. Its peak. How would I say climax?
Because you were laughing. It made you giggle.
Anyway,
Because you're dirty.
but anyway, it's reached its peak. It can only it can't get much better than what it is right now.
First it peaks, then it climaxes.
Yeah, well, it plateaus and then it just
Anyways, yes, exactly. But that's the same thing with what they're doing with Oculus. They bought it because it's a very promising technology, and whether other than like trying to make it themselves and competing with it, they'll just buy the company that's at the forefront of it. And
so quick point then. Wasn't the whole discussion set up that people are actually canceling their pre-orders now that Facebook has bought them?
Yeah.
So why would they be doing that if Facebook has no intention?
because people are idiots and they're like, oh, I fucking hate Facebook. I hate the fact that they're buying everything. Like even the guy that like Notch or whatever, the guy that owns Mahjong that makes Minecraft, completely like he doesn't trust Facebook or whatever because they're not proven. Whatever, like I saw
they're
an entire
a sketchy company. They're not someone I would want to associate.
No, but
myself
as a
with.
head of a
exactly
company,
yes, but at the same time, I mean, like it seems
No, as a head of a company, I can understand it from his point, but from a customer, I couldn't give a shit.
exactly.
I'd rather give it to a big company. I'd rather give it to Google,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Facebook will do.
I mean,
They got money.
looking at other
Better than
companies,
Apple.
other companies besides Google and I guess Facebook aren't pushing boundaries, aren't pushing forward. I mean, compared to like what else could you think of? Maybe Steam.
Well, that's
maybe
the thing.
Valve.
I think Valve would have been a good
Valve would have been
Valve
perfect.
bought
because
it.
they've
Yeah.
already
I
made
agree.
that
But they have too many secrets.
commitment with Oculus. They've already said that.
Well, there you go.
they're gonna
They're already in business.
like,
they don't need to own it.
I
They're already
really
in
want to
business.
hear what Gabe has to say and
About
John
this?
Carmack has to say about this deal.
John Carmack, I saw him in a picture with them all smiling
Yeah.
as they got bought out by Facebook.
Alright.
Yeah,
How much
because
fucking
that's
money
such
they
money.
just made? Fuck.
Billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
and even so, like if Steam goes to Facebook, like we don't want to work with you anymore. They're gonna do everything in their power.
Steam wouldn't do that. Steam doesn't care.
Yeah.
Steam, because of the Steam machine, I can understand how Steam does not give a shit. As long as PC gaming is thriving, Steam doesn't give a shit.
Well,
Valve doesn't give a shit.
Valve, they can just play with reckless Abaddon, and
Well done.
they can just keep on going and push the boundaries with this new. I'm just
Yeah.
talking bullshit. So.
Yeah. It was well played. Anyways,
I assume the only reason that Valve didn't get the deal is because we don't know what's happened.
Facebook put in more money.
Who
or
knows?
something.
Like for sure.
yeah. Do you think Valve was actually trying to buy it?
I
Valve was like,
wouldn't
that's a
doubt
lot of
it.
zeros.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the only reason that this deal went ahead is because they have freedom, and I hope that freedom doesn't get taken away. I
probably
hope that
I don't
Facebook
think so.
doesn't,
I really don't think they would do that.
No, because Martin
That's
Luther
the whole
King
point.
Jr.
So then why would they own them instead of just investing in them?
That's because you
they
want
wanna
more
make
money
more
owning
money.
them.
So what? The ownership of something versus the investment of something means that you have
It's the
control
same
over
thing, no?
something. Not necessarily.
No.
Just
You
because
invest and you expect this much in return versus
They
I'm
invested.
owning this
They
and
invested.
they're absorbing all of the risk
Yeah.
of what this product is doing. Why would you do that unless you have too much money and you want to do something?
They
do
have
have
too much money. That's the whole point.
they have
But
so much money to
too
throw
much
around.
money plus wanting to do something actively with it. Instagram being
Maybe
owned
they had
by
an
Facebook
idea.
makes sense. WhatsApp owned by Facebook makes sense to me.
See,
Oculus owned by Facebook
that's-
seems too distant.
that's
from,
why everyone is complaining about this, because no one understands why Facebook would go after Oculus.
But why are you defending their
Because-
actions?
I'm defending it because
It's
they
because of
haven't
Google
ruined
Glasses.
anything else. No, maybe not. No, because no one's gonna walk
No,
around with
obviously
Oculus
not. But I'm
Rift
just saying.
like a Google
No,
Glass.
obviously not. But they're
It's-
trying to incorporate.
That's not even the same thing.
Yeah, because
not
imagine,
even the
imagine
same thing.
you open up Facebook on your TV instead of being on the computer. You have it on your face now. They're
Yes.
just gonna put Facebook advertising.
Face
everywhere.
mask.
There's probably gonna be Facebook on the
They
Oculus.
already-
Yeah, but no one's gonna buy that though.
I know, obviously not. But
That's what people don't realize.
gamers will.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens because Facebook does have billions of. I don't know what the figure is.
They
It's
print money.
billions of
They
people.
have a license to print money
Billions of people visit this site.
On
And,
a monthly basis.
Like if they want
daily.
Billions
if they
on a daily
want
basis.
exposure and like like people to adopt this technology, then there is no better way. I don't think there's a better way of getting it to the masses.
At this point, no.
Like I don't know.
Facebook has the means. Oculus
It's either,
didn't have
it's
it
either
before.
Facebook, Google, or Valve.
This
And
is
I
going
think-
to expedite this, the
It's-
process a lot faster.
This is like I have not seen this kind of merge between two companies that are completely at opposite ends of the spectrum. Like there is nothing really connecting the two.
It's
but
interesting.
I think if Facebook sees this technology with so much potential, which I think it does have huge potential, not just for gaming, but for like the whole just being absorbed, like being taken into another reality, like another world. Like even just browsing the web, I'm sure it could be pretty sick.
People are gonna die using those things.
Yeah, definitely.
Put this into perspective.
Podcasts.
The fact is, Google started out as a search engine,
Mhm.
and they added Gmail. They added a
Yeah.
shit ton of things down the line. I mean,
And now they make self-driving cars.
exactly. They added maps. They added all these crazy things, and they have the Google Glass. They
Makes
have all
no
these
sense.
crazy things. They're always willing. They have the crazy ass, insanely high speed internet.
Yeah.
Like all this
They
stuff.
have their internet providers now, yeah.
Really?
rolled
They
out,
have all this
10
crazy
robotic
things.
Fiber
companies.
It's Facebook trying to compete with Google. Like they want to try new things.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It just
Very
seems it doesn't seem like a good fit, but like I feel like down the line, down the road, it will fit.
Although what it's going to be is, and I saw this on like Kotaku or whatever, it's going to be like Futurama. Remember that episode where they went into the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which just, oh no, the pop-up ads!
Oh
and,
no,
like,
it's full of
fighting off the
ads.
ads and shit. It'll be fun.
That's another thing I want to like. I don't think there's any way that Facebook could control the ad content go into that thing without someone just creating a bypass for it. Like I have
Ad
ad
block,
block. for
yeah.
my
Yeah.
music. Like there's gonna be ways around it all the time. Like
True. Apparently, Brandon and Sean both have questions.
Nah, it's
I
okay.
just made mine up right now.
So did I. Let me hear yours first.
Okay, so given other forms of media, so like think about you got books, you got short stories, stuff like that. You got
So books
movies.
and short stories are different from one another.
Yeah, but the length is
Literature
There's
and
literature.
movies doesn't matter.
Literature.
Same thing.
Okay, gotcha.
one's long, one's short. You know, and then you got TV shows.
And movies.
Movies, you
which
got
are short
minis.
stories and
Oh, I
books.
see. Oh, I
you,
see what's
you
happening.
got even like shorter, like even like smaller things that are like 15 minutes. What would you say
Webisodes.
to? Yeah. What would you say to games that are like an hour or an hour and a half long?
indie games.
No.
To the Moon is 3 hours.
That's I'm saying an hour to an hour and a half at max 2 hours.
Depends
Each
what's the
each
price.
episode of a Telltale game is about that long. No,
Well, that isn't a game though.
it's an episode.
An episode in a larger game. I think,
But
like
these
for
are-
example, what were we talking about before that I really liked? That you wear those masks and you.
No More
No more
Masks?
masks.
It's top down and it's got that really good
Hotline
soundtrack.
Miami?
Hotline Miami. That's
Yeah.
what 2 hours long at most.
3 hours.
Less than that.
I played 3 hours.
Bioshock Infinite was
Yeah,
an hour.
The first DLC was like an hour and a half.
Anyways, what's your
Okay,
question?
anyways,
I feel
what's
we're
your
just
actual
jumping off
question?
topic.
That was kind of my question. What would you think about that? Like,
Oh, if having a
apparently
really
there are
small, there are, yeah,
No, they exist.
Well, that's
they
depends on the
exist, but
price, right?
they're
like
usually
non-flash
DLC.
games. Yeah, like non-flash games that are just like as is an hour long.
Well, that's
They're usually
Yeah,
DLC.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what would you pay for it? Do you think it would be worth
Well,
it?
I think it- I
Nidhogg's
think it
about,
sort of-
like,
it sort
2
of
minutes.
exists.
It's like it's $15. So.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It does have extreme replay value.
Yeah.
But I feel like that does exist. It's just in a different form. It's not like a full-fledged game. They're either DLC for a full game or it's episodic content for a bigger picture.
But like
Yeah.
you're saying DLC, like what if we had like a self-contained game that's as is on itself,
Mhm.
an hour 2 hours max, just like a movie.
I think that we have troubles with it in sort of this circular motion, just because we sort of understood video games to be something, and that we've sort of institutionalized the idea of them being a certain length, offering a certain value. I think that the younger generation isn't going to care. They're going to deconstruct the
I think it's the value that's the most important. It depends how much they're willing.
I disagree. I think that what's most important is that we think a video game should be something. Therefore, if it isn't, we become upset with that.
Well, no,
Yeah. Well, it's like people have no problem paying $12 to go see a 3-hour movie, but you give them, say, $12 for a 3-hour video game, and then it's all hell breaks loose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not value. Yes, but I think that it's less than that, or rather, it's more than that. It's just the fact that we feel that it should be a certain way,
Yeah.
and younger generations don't feel that way. They're willing to accept Nidhogg as what it is, and Minecraft is this
No, but that has tons
enormous
of replay value.
Minecraft is endless.
So does that. That has tons of replay value on it.
But like, say you were to pay $5 for a new game that's at most 2 hours long.
Right.
I'd pay
Totally
$5
would
for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Like it's
Well,
its own
I'd still
thing,
pay
it's its
$10
own
for
story.
it.
I've paid $10 for a 3-minute
one
lockdown,
developer,
so-
like one or two developers made
Oh
it,
my.
whatever the case, or maybe it's a big studio that just spent like a week making this game, but it has a good story. It's just that it's 2 hours long and it's $5.
like
Yeah.
Journey. How long
Yeah,
was Journey?
that's 2 hours long, but it was
Yeah.
$15.
I paid $15 for that. I still have not played it.
Really?
It's on my
It's
PlayStation.
worth the
I think
15.
I-
But see,
Yeah,
the thing
definitely.
is, there is that like little difference in certain games. I mean, like, yeah, a lot of the times you will spend $15 and you'll get a couple of hours out of it, right? And it feels like you're getting cheated a bit.
Mhm.
Like Metal Gear Solid 5, I played for Ground Zero. At least I paid $40, and I literally beat the main mission and all of the side missions except for one because I have not gotten it yet. Within like 4 hours.
I
You
just
are
want to interject just because I think I find it hilarious that my flaccid interjection beat Sean's real interjection.
Anyways, Sean.
Would you rather, let me put up two scenarios, pay $60, as I'm sure some of us have, and play 20 minutes of a video game, or pay $15 and play 2 hours of a video game and complete one and only contribute to 0.1% of the other one?
Well,
You see what I'm saying? People buy full-fledged games and
And
only
play
put in like an
nothing.
hour, 2 hours. People are willing to like him and haw and run out to the streets and attack people and say like, this game should have been less than $15. Well, like, what's the honestly?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
value
you're
is just-
attacking me because of my giant collection
just
of games
attacking-
I've never played.
I'm attacking this irrational fear of.
But I
paying-
find that's only to a certain people who don't finish video games. Like, I'll finish almost every video game I buy.
But do
Yeah.
you think that you're more in the majority, or do you think Adam is more in the majority? as
Which
a
is why I
gamer?
just buy video games and then don't
and
finish
don't play them.
No,
Adam's
I
a-
think
Adam's a consumer that's more typical than you
see.
are.
I think the person between me and Matt is the general normal consumer.
What
Because
does that mean?
we're both at extremes. I buy a stupid amount of video games and
don't
play
play any
half
of
of them. I play about half of them.
the thing is,
So then you aren't. You're a majority.
No.
You like a lot of consumers. Then.
No, I buy no. But see, Matt, every single game he plays, he beats every single one of them.
Or I try to-
Meanwhile, I buy a stupid amount of
Don't play
games
them at all.
and I
Yeah, I was gonna
barely play any
You're
of
not
them.
at opposite ends then. You
I-
should technically buy every single
this-
video game and not play any of them. You're not at the other end of him. You're just
I have
the
to play
average
some of
consumer.
them.
There's a bigger group that's in Adam's like
Yeah.
Really?
Venn
I don't know.
diagram,
All those
like,
kids
Venn
that can't afford
circle.
video games aren't going to just go on a rampage and buy video games.
But that's like Reddit
I-
and Kotaku. They're like, oh, I can't afford anything. Maybe everything should
Well,
be
that's it,
free,
but I think
like
that's what-
education.
No, but just in general, I don't
Damn
think a lot of
stupid.
people are
Yeah,
going out
seriously.
buying games that they can't afford.
I gotta say, I'm
It's not
probably
playing.
never gonna buy a $70 game unless it's
On
something
Steam.
like
Yeah.
no, like the PS4 games now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would like to get Infamous Second Son, but it's $70 is too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm totally like
I still pay it.
unless it's a game
And not
like
play it.
with
I
a lot
do.
of hype, and I feel like I want that feeling that you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
about knowing that, oh man, this game is the shit, like GTA 5, like just knowing that I want to be part of that hype train. Like there's something to do with there's something there when you're playing and you feel
Well,
like
something
you're
to
part
talk
of
about.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the whole
that's-
community is like really
Yeah,
into it.
that's the
Right.
reason why I had this
It's
question.
free.
My initial question was based on Canadian prices going up by $10, but I found that it's too constricted to Canada only.
Yeah.
But
You know?
it has made a difference for me. I mean,
Yeah.
for example, Final Fantasy X came out in HD. I remember back in December of last year, I'm like, I really want to get this when it comes out. The $5 makes a difference. It's $44.99 now. Psychologically, that isn't $39.99, which wasn't $40, but it was $40, and now it's only $5 more. But it makes a difference. It feels like
Well, that's the whole psychology of people making it 99, like the 99 cents or whatever.
Right.
It's not $40. It's still $30, even though it is 40.
Then you got to add
Right.
in the 2 taxes.
Right, but so to Brandon's point, I think that there is a price. Unless your question is there a price psychology? Because I don't think that was his question.
No, his question was, do you think it'll change, like,
It'll change
people's
spending
buying habits?
I feel that an extra $10 is the make or break point, especially
Yep.
for
Unfortunately, the thing is with me is the games are all that price, so it doesn't really matter.
No, but especially in
I
Quebec.
wouldn't have bought GTA 5 for $70.
Because like add
I got it
on
for free.
taxes, $80.
Wow.
$80 a game.
I wouldn't have bought
It's
it.
Yeah,
literally
it's a lot.
79, 90 something.
It's a lot.
So it's $80 a game.
You
and
think
you're
anyone?
thinking that people are gonna buy like 4 games? On what's the attach rate for most consoles? Maybe 4 or 5.
Fuck, I don't know. I can't remember.
At least 5 games per console, right?
I might be completely wrong. I feel that the $10 is initially something that we'd be startled with, but
After a while, you just get used to it. The games, it's a standard. That's the problem. If half the
Yes.
games are one price and half the games are the other price,
But
then there would be a
Yeah, but
problem.
how much were N64 games when they came out?
they were like
70
$80, $90
bucks.
bucks.
Yeah.
No, there's
Also,
some
it
games that are
hasn't
$100.
Nothing's changed. They were actually cheaper when it was PS2.
Exactly. No, the thing is, no one's accounted for inflation. Our pay rates haven't increased, so it's a bigger bite to our paycheck in the end.
so you're saying that and I sort of agree with what you're saying. You're saying that the $70 game is actually valued at less
than
the
it was
50.
before.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
which I think makes sense to me as well, personally.
Although
And
it's still kicking the nuts.
As Andy is saying, what might have happened, and I hate to throw out these cliche marketing conceptualizations, but like we've sort of all become early adopters to some extent for a lot of video games when we shouldn't fit into the cycle that way because we are a little bit more frugal with how we spend our money. But because the games had become so affordable for a while, we just become. I'm the same way with the Vita now. Every game that comes out for the Vita, I want to own. They're like $40. I'm like, what do I have to lose from this? Well, I have a lot to lose from it because I'm actually just spending too much money, which is what an early adopter does. Not that you're spending
Pointing
too much.
at me, of
Not
course.
that you're spending too much, but to someone who isn't an early adopter, that's
Yeah.
the perception. Whereas for you, it just seems normal.
Well, pegging this to Steam, doesn't this just have like an exponential effect, like an exponentially worse effect to Sony? I haven't seen any price changes for the Xbox, like the Xbox One
It's
console.
probably
so-
still happening. They're just
Yeah.
not as vocal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like I find like pegging this directly to Steam and to PC gaming, I find that this will make PC gaming more accessible.
But see, the thing is Steam actually going on a like Canada and US budget? Like
Who knows? That's
is it a North American? Like, is it just
It's
a
only
set
Canada.
price point? Because they don't even charge taxes.
No, but they do the currency change.
Do they?
Yeah, it's all in US.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
it
in
is.
American.
It's actually all in
But
US,
just
and then
to
they
play,
charge you on
to play to the Steam idea, I'm still of two minds with Steam. I feel that to a smart PC developer, Steam is invaluable. But to the majority of PC developers, Steam is kind of this strange thing where you release a game and like someone will look at it, $12, man. I can own literally 4 million games for that price.
I gotta wait for that to be 90% off.
Exactly. And what happens? What happens to the average PC? The literal value of PC games
Becomes
has
nothing. It's
depreciated
like-
to nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then what's even worse is that people are so impulsive. I own 1 million games. I'm not going to play any of them.
Yeah.
I just like
It's
to
a
look
problem.
at them and like masturbate to this list of video games, and then send a picture of me masturbating to this video game list to someone else who's masturbating to a smaller list of video games. It's disgusting because people are they have no self control anymore. They want to play
Oh, my
everything
God.
immediately.
Yeah.
It's just it's not
Yeah.
conducive
Which is
to a
what- which
positive.
it brings me back to my point. Like
Yeah.
2-hour games, that makes sense to me because people have a shit ton of a backlog right now,
Yeah,
and they're paying jack shit for these games anyway.
no one
So,
cares.
Them
Yeah.
humble indie
Why not
bundles.
just
Like, in the back of their
Why not
minds.
just make them
They're
2-hour
ruining gaming
games?
for everyone.
The humble bundle.
If you made them all 2-hour games, you can have a whole day of playing 12 games.
And you'd be
And
done.
and I played 12 games tonight in 24 hours.
Just wait for the summer.
Or
So-
we're not
so,
Germany.
yeah.
We're not trying to be a productive people here.
Yeah.
I've
Alright.
completed 8 games today. Good.
Even from, I
If
mean,
you only completed 7, ha!
What are you, the United States?
And on that note, my studio, yes, is getting very loud because everyone's upstairs now. So, check us out on Facebook, YouTube's, all kinds of crazy shit. We started our blog finally. Although today was supposed to see a fucking post by Compo, but his computer fucked up. I will get into that later.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
How
Anyways.
convenient.
Yes, very
Yeah.
convenient. Anyways.
Sounds
Yes.
like that kid in our group, that like group project that like.
Yeah, that one guy.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to go on a week trip. Really? You just told me about this now? Like, what is?
How many times have I been shafted
Yeah.
in John Molson?
Yeah.
For this exact same reason.
It's good.
Oh, just coincidentally.
It's going to be you. Yes, Dodds is going to be writing for us.
Are you?
Maybe.
Yes. You're going on vacation. Oh, I don't understand.
He's writing for you guys.
Oh, you're writing. I think you said
Writing.
running.
He's gonna
from
also-
us.
Writing.
Are you going
Anyways.
to become a ghostwriter? Sean Ship wrote this. Hey, you know that guy Kyle Dodds? I really like him.
Very similar.
Ignore all the poor grammar and spelling errors. I've had quite a bit.
Abaddon.
Yeah. So everyone this week wrote about Kyle Dodds.
So I'm not going to talk about this game.
See you guys.
That Kyle Dodds guy.